Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Merlin. Last time on Merlin, we had The Sorcerer's Shadow, where we had the open tournament in Camelot, to which everyone was invited to compete, including two very interesting fighters, one of which being Gilly, a young boy who had a ring that allowed him to channel magic. And he was using it to win fights, and he was starting to gain a little respect, letting the power go to his head a little bit. And he was going to kill the king until Merlin was able to, talk some sense into him, basically. And our other combatant was the king himself. Uther Pendragon was in the tournament and ended up winning. He also actually had a fight with Arthur in the semifinals, but Arthur threw the match. Which Uther deemed as being actually very honorable and very, very gracious, to his elderly father. And he said, I hope in the future your sons are as gracious to you as you were to me. And he said, you know what? You are finally ready to be king. So yeah, that was pretty much that. It was a great episode overall. And we're down to the final two of season 3. And these are... pretty sure these are a 2-part finale, so this is going to get pretty crazy. The last time we had a 2-parter, was the Tears of Uther Pendragon that started the season, so I will be very curious to see where we are going with this one. But in order to get started on this reaction, we do have to go ahead and talk about the whole thing we always talk about, which is how you can watch this reaction, because reactions cannot be hosted in this video due to copyright issues that I've had in the past. So what you gotta do is head down. There is a link in the description and in the pinned comment. It's the same link. And that, with just one click, that will take you to my reaction. You can go, you can watch it, you can have a good time. When you're done with that, you can pop right back over here to this YouTube video for the discussion. So with that being said, we should get right into this episode of Merlin. Here we go. Okay. We have now witnessed the ascension of Queen Morgana Pendragon, which was the final vision Merlin had earlier in the season. Oh my gosh, yeah, this is pretty big. This is pretty big. This is already shaping up to be our biggest finale yet, And there's no getting around it now. Everyone knows. Now everyone knows about Morgana. It's interesting. It is a little interesting that Uther says, you have no right to the throne. Motherfucker, you didn't either. You conquered Camelot. They did the same thing. So that's kind of like, honestly, that logic is a little stupid when you think about it. Now that we know, it's like, oh, well, Morgana, she has a claim to the throne being Uther's daughter, so she can be the queen. But anyone can become the king or queen of Camelot by just conquering it. That's what Uther did. So, but whatever, Hey, she did it, the correct way, I guess. Although, she didn't wait for Uther to die. She just took the crown. But that is the final vision. The last of Merlin's visions from the Crystal Cave was Morgana on the throne wearing the crown. And now everyone knows that she's evil. Uther knows. Arthur knows. They all know. Oh boy. Now everyone knows. And knowing is half the battle. The only thing we're missing now? The only thing we're missing is Lancelot. He's the only thing. We've got We've got Merlin, Arthur, Gawain, Elian, but we are missing Lancelot. And I do want to see him, especially after watching him in Star Trek Picard, where, he's this, he's a bit older and he's, a very disheveled, washed up Starfleet officer. It would be kind of nice to get Lancelot back in this show. We've only had him for 2 episodes, and now this is Gawain's 3rd, and next episode I guess will be Gawain's 4th. So, which I like. I like that they keep bringing Gawain back. That's really nice, but I do want Lancelot. That's the only thing we're missing, I feel like. Holy crap, man, these 2-parters, man. They go all out on 2-parters. I mean, maybe Beauty and the Beast notwithstanding, Because, that's the thing, is our first 2-parter was Beauty and the Beast, which was... It was okay. It was goofy as all get out, but I liked it. And then we had Tears of Uther Pendragon, which was a hell of a season premiere. Now we have this, The Coming of Arthur, which, that's the thing, that name, The Coming of Arthur, Part 1. The hell does that mean? It makes me wonder, is Arthur going to claim the throne in this? That would be crazy. I mean, I don't know. They might. I feel like they should kill Uther, Like, that's their whole thing. They have to kill Uther, but they haven't yet. They waited just so he could see his failure, see Morgana sitting on the throne. Like, all right, you did that to Globe, but the goal is to kill him, so get on it. What are you doing? Oh, man. I don't know, man. But maybe this is it. Maybe with this title, The Coming of Arthur, Part 1 and 2, maybe we're gonna actually get King Arthur at the end of this. Who knows? King Arthur and his wizard Merlin. Who knows? Maybe Merlin will actually tell Arthur that he's a sorcerer. That'd be crazy. I mean, 3 seasons, that would be a pretty good, length of time, I mean, hell, I've seen shows where, I'd kind of compare this to, like, superhero shows, where, okay, like, at the end of Spider-Man 2, which I know is a movie, but that came into my head first. Like, at the end of Spider-Man 2, when Mary Jane finds out that Peter is Spider-Man, Or The Flash. The Flash, at the end of season 1, Iris found out that Barry was the Flash, So, that's a thing in like, superhero movies and shows where, the secret identity is finally revealed to one of our main characters. So, 3 seasons on, I could see them doing that. I could see Merlin telling Arthur, and probably Morgana, too, that he is a sorcerer. And he's the sorcerer, too. That's the thing. He is Emrys. Oh, boy. I'm tired, guys. Sorry. It's the last episode of the day, and I've recorded... We're on show number 7, are we not? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is show number 7 I'm recording today. It's the last thing of the day. We are going to get into the notes, but I will say, this might be one of those times where it's like there's not a ton that we can really talk about because, it's a part 1. So, okay, first off, I just went to the cast list. I just went to the cast list for this episode. Colin Morgan has a new picture on here, which we said that a while back about Bradley James. Bradley James also has a newer photo on here, but yeah, Colin Morgan. This is the first time I'm noticing he has a new picture. Man, him grown up looks weird because he's got like facial hair and his hair, like his normal hair, is a bit longer. It's kind of weird, you know. That mainly because he's got like this perpetual boy face. I feel like it's like I don't know. It's like there's something about his face, you know. It's like perpetual boy. But that's the thing is, you know, this season of Merlin, this is 2010. That's 10 years ago. They've all aged 10 years. I mean, Katie McGrath really hasn't aged 10 years, but still. So, now one thing, God, there was a lot of characters in this episode. One thing is Jarl. I believe that's what it was. Okay, he was in Game of Thrones. It doesn't say though. Damn. It says he was in Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm trying to remember when that would have been, but yeah. But it does say Game of Thrones. I thought he was familiar. Like I could totally see this guy on I could totally see that guy like on the wall. You know, on the the wall in Game of Thrones, so yeah, it was something like that. I think he was like on the wall, or maybe he was one of the knights, like maybe a Lannister knight, but that doesn't seem quite right. Or I could also see him as a northerner. That takes care of a lot. Like that really does not narrow it down. So yeah, he definitely looks familiar. And then the guy that played the main druid looked familiar. Known for Merlin, that's not a great start. It says he was in Doctor Who. Here's one problem about some of this stuff is that it never tells you like what role they played in, you know, these particular shows. So, yeah. Oh well. But he did look familiar, so. So yeah, we might as well pop right into the notes here. Again, maybe a bit of a quick discussion. Maybe not. It just kind of depends. But I am tired. So, let me just go ahead and say, next episode, I'm sure we are going to have a lengthy discussion about the episode. But part ones tend to be a bit shorter. So, let's go ahead and pop into it. The first thing I wrote down was Sir Leon. Man, it was a bit of a roller coaster at the beginning because he was dead. He just looked like he was dead, you know? And it's like, oh, he's not dead. He's barely alive. But it's like, oh my gosh. You know, because I was, like, last episode, I was kind of thinking, like, man, we haven't seen Sir Leon in a while, you know? Like, I wonder what happened to him. And it's like, well, and it's like, oh, are they going to kill him off just here? It's like, well, there's no way they brought that actor back just to kill him at the beginning of this episode, right? Sure enough, he was brought back by the druids with the Cup of Life. The Cup of Life, which I didn't even realize until they said it, the Cup of Life was presumed, you know, destroyed with Nimue at the end of season 1. That was pretty cool, actually, because that was the whole thing about, the ending of season 1, which I believe was like, Merlin had to save Arthur, and then he was going to be sacrificed, but he didn't, you know, he didn't take his place, so it was going to be his mother, and then all this stuff, and then it was Gaius, and then they eventually just killed Nimue, basically. So yeah, I didn't even realize that, yeah, the Cup of Life, you know, was presumed to be destroyed by Merlin when he killed Nimue. So, which, that reminds me, that makes me think, did he actually say that he killed Nimue? I kind of want to see. Okay, so he thought what he said was he thought that the cup was destroyed when he defeated Nimue at the Isle of the Blessed. So, all right. So he just presumed that it was destroyed. He did not say though that he killed Nimue, which he did, by the way. I feel like they always gloss over that, but yeah, Merlin's a murderer. Merlin has killed people. Nimue being one of them. But I do like that callback to season 1, you know? Makes things a bit more interconnected, you know? So, yeah, the Cup of Life, which can bring someone back from the brink of death, such as Sir Leon, or if you can put your blood into it, you can become immortal. You can achieve immortality, which is not good for these knights. So yeah, that's pretty interesting and does pose a great threat. And that's the thing is that, Senred and Morgause actually would not have known about this if Arthur did not go looking for it. Because that's the thing is he went looking for it, and because of that, Senred and Morgause then found out about the Cup of Life, So that's the thing, And, but you also understand why they would want to find it, not to use it, mind you. They wouldn't want to use it, so Camelot will have an immortal army. No, they just want to hide it because Uther knows how powerful the cup is, and he doesn't want that falling into the wrong hands, and he just can't trust the druids to keep it safe. So that's interesting. We met up with Gawain again. I love how they bring him back. We just stumble upon him, I love it. And yeah, he was the champion for Jarl, which, I've played some Skyrim. Jarl was a title in that game. Apparently here it's just a name, just Jarl or Jarl. I'm pretty sure they said Jarl, though. That's how you would pronounce it. At least that's how they pronounce it in Skyrim, so. But that was interesting, that whole thing with, Gawain being the champion and then having to fight Arthur. That was pretty interesting. And then they escaped. Jarl goes, gives the message to Senred. And then Morgause just up and kills him. So, yeah. And then I wrote down Immortals. They did get the cup and created an entire immortal army that they would use against Camelot, which was pretty crazy. And then Senred just died. She just killed Senred. That's the thing is that, why didn't Senred become immortal? Hello? Senred's going to command the immortals. But he's not immortal. What? Why would Senred not want to be immortal, So that was a little odd that he has an army of immortals, but he won't be immortal himself. Thus, Morgause was able to just kill him. And now it's her army. So yeah, Senred's dead. I wrote down Slaughter. So we've basically lost most of the Knights of Camelot, most of the citizens of Camelot, I feel like. And yeah, I feel like we're down to just a handful of people, Just from the fact that, all those people were just, in the town were just dead. So, I don't know how many of them became prisoners. I don't know. But it was pretty eerie, finding Camelot after the battle, Finding it after the battle and just walking through just a ghost town. It was very eerie. And then, yeah, I wrote down Usurp. So, they left Uther alive, basically just to rub it in what they were doing. They have not killed him yet. I imagine, I would imagine that's going to be, their folly. That's going to be their downfall, is the fact that they haven't killed him. It gives Arthur an opportunity to save him. However, this episode is also called The Coming of Arthur. So, I mean, that's the thing, is that Arthur's coming. He's coming. He's coming all over the place, but still. So, yeah, it's I almost wonder if, even if Uther survives, what if he just gives up the throne to Arthur? That'd be crazy, But yeah, we had a complete usurp, which, and again, that's the thing, is when he says, you have no right to the throne. And it's but neither did you, jackass. You conquered Camelot. You can't, you had no right to do that, but you just did, and you became the king. And so, but that's the thing, is that despite, technically being a bastard, it is okay for Morgana to take the throne, being his daughter. And we have now crowned Queen Morgana Pendragon, the first of her name. That is crazy. And it's also crazy just that it's Queen Morgana Pendragon. It's like, yep, that's her name now. She's taking it. This is like a Kaiba maneuver right here. That is totally Kaiba. She just took the name Pendragon, and it's hers now. So, but she still has to contend with Arthur, who's still alive, you know, but that's the thing. It's like she didn't even wait for Uther to die or to kill Arthur or anything. She just took it. Like, well, it's mine now. So, yeah, they're going to have to take it back in the next episode. And who knows? This might be it. This might be the rise of King Arthur. I don't know. But the only other thing I could think of that could happen is something with the water of the Lake of Avalon. That could be the only other thing because they specifically showed Merlin taking that. So, yeah. I hope we get Lancelot next episode, too. I kind of doubt that it's going to happen. I just feel like if they were going to do it, they would have done it already. But the fact is, we have Merlin, Arthur, Gawain, and Elian. I want to get our other knight in there. Yeah, get Lancelot, get Leon, and there we go. Like, we need to set up the Knights of the Round Table, you know? So, I'd love to get them all in there, you know, and I'm just assuming, I have no idea if Elian or Leon are Knights of the Round Table. You know, all I know is that Lancelot and Gawain are. So I have no idea about Leon or Elian, but that'd be cool if they were, you know? And I like that they brought him back, you know? Because it makes sense to bring him back. It makes sense to bring him back because, yeah, Camelot has fallen. He would be there, So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's all I wrote down for this episode. Crazy, crazy episode, and I'm sure it's just going to get crazier next time. And I can't wait. I cannot wait to get to that. The finale of Season 3 of Merlin. We're going all out on this one. So yeah, that is pretty much it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Merlin reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.